Hi, everyone. Welcome. My name is Aurelia Augusta. I am the president of United Videogame Local 9433 of the Communication Workers of America. I'm so happy to welcome you to the Game Workers Conference. This is our first run of a conference for game workers by game workers. And I want to pull into that for a little bit of time. I'm going to be saying game worker a lot. And I'm going to be using that instead of game developer. And this is part of a thing that I'm really passionate about, which is that I think we need to understand ourselves as workers in this industry a lot more than we do. There are so many ways that the words that we use to describe our experiences as game workers undermine our challenges, undermine the difficulties that we face, and separate us out from those who can be our allies and those who understand what we're going through and also can help us. One thing that comes to mind is crunch. It's really unfortunate that a term that is sometimes made to sound so cutesy is used to describe what is unpaid, forced, mandatory overtime, a thing which has been plaguing workers for centuries. In many places is deeply illegal, even though it's normalized. And similarly with game developer, yes, we are developing games. Yes, we are, in some cases, software developers, UI developers, and that is true to what we do. But understanding that we are workers, that we are the people who we make our living by laboring, by going in and doing work, and we don't have capital. We don't have, in many cases, the ability to wait for an investment return and just pay our bills based off that we have to work to live, and that is integral to our understanding of how we position ourselves in this industry. It's important to forefront that. It's important to talk about that. And I think it's important to be proud of that. It's in some ways so beautiful that we come together and we work so hard to make so many amazing things. And I think it's also a way of shifting the conversation away from, hey, I developed this game and it's really cool and really fantastic and that's great, to I'm a game worker and I have contributed to all of these amazing projects, but I am still a worker. And understanding that that means that this is central to what we want to do, what we want to achieve, and also that we are critical to this industry. Our work is critical to this industry. And it at least in my opinion, creates the correct emphasis. So if you're going to when you hear game worker repeatedly later through my remarks, that's why I'm saying it that way. One of the big proofs for why, as game workers, we need to be supporting ourselves and each other is, unfortunately, the layoff environment around us. 45,000 people affected by layoffs recently. And it really goes to show that it's important not just to create these spaces, to have funds that we can distribute to each other, ways that we can help each other out, but really fight to change the structure of this industry, change the possibilities that exist here, so that rather than lamenting 45,000 layoffs, we can say that's not possible. We have protections that make it so that you can't do that to us. We are so excited to put this out into the world to you, our fellow game workers, and help make something that is a place where we can talk about the things that matter to us as game workers, the technical issues, the workplace issues, the social issues, all of the things that we can't leave at the door when we are game workers, we want to bring here to Game Workers Conference. The hope of this is that this is just the first time we're doing it, and it's going to be messy. It's going to be rough. We are so excited to be already doing in-person meetups. Well, we want to grow this as we grow membership, as we have more of you working with us in UVW to make this and make UVW the best event that it can be. It really is a thing where, at a time in the industry where things seem so bleak and where the spaces where we have congregated before are literally fenced off from us, we've really found a lot of passion in wanting to make our own spaces, make our own voice heard. So often it feels like even in spaces that are nominally for us, everyone is talking but us. And as a result, we wanted to create this. And because we are a direct join union, because we are game workers ourselves, this is only going to be for us. It's not going to be for sponsors. It's not going to be for anyone besides game workers ourselves. And this is always going to be free to access. The videos that you see here, the talks, are always going to be available online in perpetuity for all game workers. This is for you. And you should always feel welcome not only to participate, not only to watch, but if there's a talk you want to see done in the future, if there are changes to the programming you want, you can get involved by being a member of UVW just by party of being a game worker. So talking a bit about UVW and what we are. Some of you have probably heard of us already. You've maybe seen us at GDC or other places, around the year. We are a direct join video game workers union for all game workers. Doesn't matter if you're junior, doesn't matter if you're super senior, doesn't matter if you're an indie worker working solo as a dev, freelancer at a studio. We are for everyone. And we are here to help organize this industry, help make our voices known, make it so that rather than relying on the goodwill of management or executives to make sure that we are taken care of, we take care of each other. And we've only been around for a little bit over a year, but in that short year, I'm so happy to talk about many of the campaigns that we've been working on. I would like to begin with the We Don't Play with Ice program. Our We Don't Play with Ice campaign is inspired by talking to our members about their lives and also real events going on in the games industry. There are so many immigrants and so many Latinx and Latino and Latina folks in the games industry who are deeply anxious about the environment around ICE right now in the games industry. And this includes last year during Summer Games Fest 2025. This took place during ongoing ICE raids in LA. We can't pretend that we are separate from the ongoing environment in the US and also just globally right now. So we need to help defend game workers. We need to make sure that our colleagues and coworkers feel safe. So because they are us, and I'm going to keep saying that as you hear more and more from me, game workers are us. So we are going to try and do things for game workers who are in need here. And that's the root of this initiative. And this We Don't Play with Ice program launched at GDC, and we are still working on it. We are still pulling people in. We are still developing it. And we are hoping that we can not just show physical support like we did at GDC by looking out for ICE with our own members, but also I'm hopeful that we can make every game workers workplace a Fourth Amendment workplace where everyone knows that their rights are taken into account, where they cannot just be whisked away without a warrant. That's a thing we encourage all of you to sign up for. And regardless of what type of studio you work at, I think we all deserve to feel safe where we work. Another thing that we're really excited about is the launch of our hardship fund this July. It's currently scoped at $20,000, but as membership grows, we can scale that up more and more with time. And if you've been affected by layoffs, if you're having a hard time, if you're struggling to pay bills right now as a game worker, please apply. We want to help. This program was built out of the notion that, well, we don't want to just sympathize as game workers with each other. We want to help each other. We want to show up for each other. We want to be able to say, hey, it's not just tough or hard that phone bill is looking impossible right now, or that student loan is looking out of reach. But here's a way we can actually institutionally, continually, sustainably help each other. So please apply. It is a thing that we want to grow with time. And as more people participate, more people join, not just increase the amount, but increase the number of ways that we can actually help each other as game workers. Another program I wanted to talk about is our fellowship program. This is a little bit of a dual use initiative. we know that there are lots of people out there who would love to do organizing work, but money is tight and they're looking for work and things are hard. So this serves the purpose of not just saying, hey, what if you could join UVW and you could have structure and pay to do organizing work, to be a fellow and learn the work of building a union. And also, it's a way of, for the union, for all of us, having more capacity to organize, having people who are paid and there every day, regularly to help us build power in this industry. So it is a wonderful way that we are excited to make it so that rather than just, hey, we can help you in an emergency, it's, hey, we can help you not just pay bills, but also build structure so that you will always have a more stable, more just, and more equitable industry going forward. And this is an initiative that we're planning to launch later this year. Exact details will be announced when we have them, and we're so excited to share that with you when we have them together. Another thing that we've been working on is healthcare. So often we are scared as game workers about where our healthcare is going to come from. The precarity in the game industry makes it so that we are not just worried about where our paycheck is coming from, but we're also worried about if we'll even be able to see a doctor. So our freelancing committee has been working tirelessly to set up a healthcare town hall where we'll be asking you, game workers, what you need in a healthcare solution, how we can best help you, how you can help us build something together that makes it so that as game workers, we have access to healthcare in a way that is not dependent on work, not dependent on, the whims of people who don't know about our family situations, don't know about our health situations, to whom we are just a line in a spreadsheet. And being able to shift the conversation from, I am desperately trying to stay at a job that is abusing me because I need to be able to see the doctor to take care of myself, to maybe I can walk away because I can at least keep my health care. Shifting the power in this industry so that we have the ability to take care of ourselves, so that we are less dependent on the whims of those who don't care for us, is so critical. And I encourage you to, as we publicize that, as dates come out, as you are available, join us, talk about it. We need to know, you are just as important as anyone else in figuring out the story of how do we have just and equitable access to healthcare for game workers. And speaking of justice, speaking of equity, we are working on a Game Workers Bill of Rights in consultation with all of you, the game workers. We did a rally and discussion about this at GDC. We are continuing to develop this, where we are trying to create a baseline for, hey, what does it mean to have a good job in games? What does it mean to have a job that is respectful of your personhood, makes you feel that you are valued as a worker with contributions that are critical, and they are critical to the maintenance and flourishing of this industry. As much as people may want to believe that they can have a games industry without workers, we are necessary. We make the games. So we can only figure out what those demands should be, what the things that should be the baseline for good games work are, with you. And we are hoping to keep working on that in collaboration with game workers as they join, and also with non-members, together to keep building this up and keep formulating what does good games work looks like, what is a good life as a games worker looks like. And this is just the beginning. We've only been around for just a year. And because we are direct union, we are you. We are your coworkers. We are the people working down the street at a different studio. We're the people you get lunch with. We're the people who you see at a meetup. And we want you to join us. There's so much more that we can do together. And to zoom out a little bit from just the programs that we have right now, the vision of UVW is much more than just, well, we'll get benefits. Well, we'll pool our money together and we'll figure out how to take care of ourselves. That is part of it, an essential part, but not all of it. We are trying to create a space where we as game workers can claim ownership and influence over this industry that is built on our labor, built on our creative passion and love and skill and expertise. All of that are things that need to be acknowledged in this industry and are constantly dismissed. And more than just take care of ourselves, we're going to change the basis of this industry. Together, we can stop asking and start demanding things. We can make a more democratic industry. We can start influencing the laws that undergird this industry, the basic socioeconomic systems that determine how we live, what we are doing. All of this is possible together. And it's not easy. I'm, in many ways, just as scared as everyone else. We're being in a union, doing any sort of organized work right now, anywhere, is scary in a world where it feels like we are made to constantly feel small and we are so busy and so tired. But I can only speak to my own experience and talk about how fulfilling and how powerful it is to stand shoulder to shoulder with your fellow game worker and see so quickly how much change you can make, how many people you can inspire, how many people you can help together, how diligently time and time again coming together, and that energy and passion can be used to do more than just survive, more than just launch a project, but change an industry, change a society in that industry lives in, and make something beautiful, make something that we're proud of, contribute to a movement of workers going back centuries who have gotten us all of the things that we rely on to have good lives right now. It's a little bit of, in a way, shaping worlds, which is the thing we do all the time as game workers. And we spend so much time shaping worlds for people that we care about, fans that we adore, our colleagues, even ourselves, in terms of our private enjoyment, making that passion project. And I think we deserve to do that for our real lives, for our economic lives, for our political lives. And doing that together, creating these spaces, is just the beginning. And I'm so excited because, in a way, I think about 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, so many years, as we continue working on this together, as we continue building UVW and studio unions together, and we build this movement of worker power together in games, in the games industry, what we can do to really make it so that when we are all, moving away from the industry and retired, and we're retiring in ways that are dignified because we fought to maintain and get that dignity, we can say we didn't just have a nice career. We don't just have nice resumes. We truly shaped a better industry and a better world together. And that is, for me at least, the vision of UVW-CWA and why we are doing this and why we want you to be part of us doing this. It's hard in some ways to talk about this institution and sort of make a pitch for it, because more so than anything, I just want to say, come in and join. This is yours too, because it is. All of the things we want to do are for you, the game worker, and well, for us, the game worker too. So thank you so much for attending, and we hope that you find a lot of interest and edification and joy in the talks during Game Workers Conference. Before we really start off the show, I do want to introduce President Claude Cummings of Communication Workers of America, who has a short message for us.
Thank you so much, Aurelia, for the kind introduction. I'm so grateful to have this chance to address all the Game Workers Conference attendees today. First and foremost, more than anything, I want to say this to everyone watching and participating in this conference. What you all do in the course of your work in the games industry is absolutely astonishing and inspiring. Although I may have come from the era of Galaga and Pac-Man, I have an immense respect for the sheer levels of skills, craft, and artistry you all demonstrate through your work making games on a daily basis. Over the last several years, I've had the good fortune of getting to know and work with many of our thousands of CWA union members in the games industry, and it is always so palpable the passion and inspiration you all have about your work. And I've come to appreciate the high levels of complexity and collaboration that are required in making games, bridging roles like engineering, design, art, audio, writing, quality assurance, testing, project management, voice and motion performance, and so many countless other skill sets. What you do collectively together truly is incredibly important, both in your day-to-day work and in building solidarity with one another and fighting for a brighter future for all game workers in CWA. We've been so proud to welcome thousands of game and tech workers across the US and Canada into our union over the years. Our union started as a movement of workers in the telecommunications industry and quickly grew to include workers in media, manufacturing, and many other industries. And while those industries might feel a bit unrelated to games at first, we know just how deeply intertwined the industries, companies, and labor of all working people truly are. And to that end, we have been so excited to help play a major role in helping bring more game workers into the labor movement and build their power as workers. And so it's with both an appreciation for your skills as game workers and with a deep sense of solidarity with your working conditions and struggles that I say our union, CWA, stands with you and the labor movement stands with you as you fight to hone your craft, develop your art form, and improve your industry. So as you all participate in the conference, I hope everyone has a chance to learn from one another, find ways to build community with one another, and most importantly, take collective action with one another. Have a wonderful time at your very first Historic Game Workers Conference. Back to you, Aurelia.
Thank you, to President Cummings, for that. And I just want to say thank you again for coming to Game Workers Conference. And we are so happy to share the show with you. Thank you so much.